How Twice Stay Fresh. Hey guys, welcome back to Waydes Winter Wonderland. Let's ignore that I technically already failed yesterday and that I didn't have the logo done in time, but that's not important. Today, we're diving into Twice's 6th Japanese album, Enemy. And listen, this one put me through every season, every emotion, and probably every stage of grief. Really quick before we get into it, I wanted to thank you so much for supporting these reviews, leaving your thoughts, and just hanging out with me in general. Because of you guys, we hit 1,000 subs, and if you missed my last video, to celebrate, I'm planning a Q&A section in the subscriber special. So if you want to be a part of that, head over to the community tab and drop any questions you'd like me to answer. Now, let's get into it. Up to You. Up to You opens the album like Twice is pulling you by the hand straight into summer. I love that it starts with this echoey stacked vocal intro. It feels like you're being welcomed into the album by a warm breeze. It's simple but effective, and it immediately sets the tone. Carefree, bright, and sentimental. Lyrically, it's basically, let's just vibe. A reminder that sometimes the best moments are the ones you choose for yourself. There's this subtle sense of freedom woven into the melody, like they want you to take a break from overthinking and just enjoy the moment. Production-wise, it's crisp, bubbly, and light without feeling throwaway. The instrumental is layered with these soft synths and subtle percussive hits that give that unmistakable summer sparkle. I've gotta give a shout out to Dion for writing this because she ate. The song has this warm and playful, genuine optimism that makes it feel like a sunscreen-scented hug. It's not a groundbreaking track, but it's the perfect album opener. Breezy, comforting, and full of feel-good energy. 8 out of 10. Enemy. Enemy is the star of the show, and she knows it. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting to love this song as much as I do. The rock influence made me nervous since it's not usually my style. Fortunately, they ate. They hit the perfect middle ground. The guitars are punchy without being overwhelming, and the percussion gives the chorus a really satisfying drive. Vocally, they sound incredible here. There's grit and some vocal distortion in some of the lines, followed by an emotional push in the chorus. They're not just singing, they're fighting, and that fits the lyrics perfectly. The message hits surprisingly deep, confronting your inner demons, treating your own self-doubt as the true enemy, and choosing to push forward anyway. It's very me versus me core, extremely relatable. What really took this to a 10 for me is the key change in the final chorus. It's like the musical equivalent of leveling up in the middle of the battle. It elevates the emotion, the energy, and the drama. This is what a title track is supposed to do. 10 out of 10. This is Twice being empowered, polished, and sonically adventurous. Fine. At first listen, I was like, yeah, fine, accurate title, but once the lyrics clicked, everything else fell into place. The message is so gentle but powerful, encouraging someone to open up, reminding them that expressing what you're going through doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Twice singing emotional reassurance over an upbeat track creates this beautiful contrast that adds depth. I also love the lyrical wordplay, using fine both as the default emotional response and as permission. It's fine to feel, fine to share, fine to be honest. I found it really clever. Production-wise, it's more digital, electronic, and kind of robotic. It really suits the message that someone is hiding their true feelings or is faking being okay. Then the chorus comes in with a heavy punch. Very satisfying. It's a deceptively deep track that reveals more each time you listen. 8 out of 10. One Day. One Day is one of those songs that has all the right pieces but doesn't completely hit the emotional mark for me. Conceptually, I love what it's doing. It's a reminder that waiting for that perfect someday is a trap. Life doesn't start later, it starts now. So they're basically saying, stop postponing your life. Show up, be yourself right now. The message is solid, the pre-chorus is beautiful, and Jihyo's high note is great as always. It's a motivating song with good bones. Production-wise, it leans more pop rock with a slightly nostalgic tone. Not retro, but wistful. The La 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 section is catchy and cute, but also feels like the part my brain latches onto instead of the full emotional arc. The only thing holding it back is that it feels like it's building towards something it never fully reaches. I don't know how to explain it. It's good, just not one of the standouts for me. 7 out of 10. Blind in Love. Girls, stand up. This song is shockingly mature and self-aware. They know this person is lying. They know their friends are yelling get out, and they know they're not seeing reality. And yet, they're still standing there like, you don't understand our love. Okay, maybe Delulu is the Salulu? Do people still say that? The verses are extremely grounded. They're narrating the mental gymnastics you do when you're fully aware something's wrong, but you're too emotionally invested to pull back. The way they phrase the denial feels painfully accurate. The production is amazing. There's this pulsing beat underneath everything, almost like a heartbeat. Steady, anxious, constant. Then, the pre-chorus strips down, giving you that moment of emotional vulnerability before the chorus hits like a train, mirroring the lyrical theme about everyone disappearing from your view when you're love blind. 8 out of 10. It's mature, catchy, and hits uncomfortably close to home. Love is More. If Blind in Love is delusion, Love is More is the crash afterward. The song shifts into longing, absence, and emotional emptiness, craving that person's presence and touch, almost begging for what used to be. The jazz-influenced piano is really pretty and gives it this classy, almost old-fashioned emotional texture. It feels like sitting alone at a dim bar in a movie thinking about your ex. Where it loses me slightly is the repetition. The looping whys make sense thematically. Heartbreak is circular, obsessive, repetitive, but they started to feel a bit tiring. It could be a stylistic choice to mirror that emotional desperation and really harp on that pain, but for me, it knocks the score down slightly. Vocally, the softness is beautiful. They're not belting their heartbreak, they're almost whispering it. It's intimate and vulnerable. 7 out of 10. Great concept, strong emotion, but not my top pick. The Wish. This is so cute. It's adorable in the sweetest, most twice way. It feels like a love letter both to themselves and to Onces, wrapped in snowflakes and warm piano chords. It's basically a winter-themed happy birthday to their career after 10 years, and I think that's super wholesome. When they sing, "From now to the next 10 years, let's stay together," I was like, I am crying. Thank you for noticing. The winter atmosphere is done so well. You can almost hear the gentle sparkle of lights or the softness of falling snow. But underneath all the coziness is this really emotional message, celebrating 10 years, reflecting how far they've come, and expressing hope for another decade. Musically, the piano keeps it bright and warm, and the chorus hits this perfect mix of nostalgia and joy. It's sweet without being cheesy. The sincerity makes it land. Without context, it's a lovely winter song. With context, the snow starts melting out of your eyes. It's a beautiful symbolic track and one of the highlights on the album. 9 out of 10. Glow. Glow is breathtaking, both musically and lyrically. The guitar-based instrumentation gives it this soft, emotional glow, pun intended, to this gorgeous ballad, and everything feels incredibly organic. The lyrics are poetic. They're singing about someone so precious that they don't want them to change. Someone who colors their world, who shines like a star in the night sky. They want that person to always glow. They're expressing their love in this deeply tender, almost protective way to let the person they love know that their presence brings so much light into the world. Everything about this song is pure, warm, and intimate. Taeyeon really wrote one of the prettiest songs in their Japanese discography. Her imagery, the softness of the lines, the way the melody wraps around the lyrics, it all works perfectly. This is a song that sits on your chest long after it ends. 10 out of 10. Like One. This closer hurts, but in the most beautiful way. This one stabbed me personally. It feels like a message directly to Onces, acknowledging their shared journey, the inevitable passage of time, and the fact that nothing lasts forever, but also that their connection is real and meaningful no matter what happens. The melody carries this bittersweet sunset-like glow. It's hopeful but tinged with sadness, kind of like the final page in a scrapbook. Jihyo's writing is so emotional and mature here. It feels like she's speaking from the heart, about change, endings, and about gratitude. As a final track, it ties the album together perfectly. It feels final, warm, nostalgic, and hopeful all at the same time. 10 out of 10. Truly a bittersweet salute. I've been on an emotional roller coaster with this album, both because of the songs and my feelings about them. When it first came out, my expectations were sky high because of their previous Japanese album, Dive, which I loved. Honestly, I might revisit it on the channel. Dive felt cohesive and instantly gripping. I still stream it constantly to this day. It's that good. Enemy is different. Not worse, just structured differently. It starts with summer energy, and by the end we're fully in winter. Like, why am I wearing sunglasses in track 1 and emotional mittens by track 9? But weirdly enough, that makes it perfect to release this video now during the holidays, cause I was able to live through the seasons with this album and actually have it grow on me throughout. I also feel Enemy as the title track was a brilliant choice. It embodies everything this album is trying to say about growth, struggle, and perseverance. Overall, I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. A very solid entry in their discography. How Twice Stay Fresh, 10 years later. This is the part where I get a little sentimental, so buckle up. Twice staying fresh after 10 whole years isn't some mystery or industry trick. It comes down to something surprisingly simple but incredibly rare. Their versatility is unmatched. Even just looking at the past year alone, they've explored an entire spectrum of genres, moods, concepts, and vocal textures. And it's not the chaotic kind of versatility where a group throws everything at the wall to see what sticks. It's the kind that comes from intention, growth, and a deep understanding of who they are. In 1 year, Twice have delivered bright summer pop, emotional rock, winter ballads, jazz-inspired softness, guitar-led confessions, bad bitch energy, and full motivational anthems. And they move between them like it's nothing. What's even wilder is that no matter what direction they take, you can always tell it's a Twice song within seconds. And that's really the secret. They're constantly changing the packaging, but the heart always stays the same. Their freshness doesn't come from new concepts or new schedules, it comes directly from them. Their personalities, their chemistry, humor, their tone as a group, their sincerity, and the way they keep growing without losing the warmth that defines them. A Twice song feels like Twice even when it sounds nothing like the one before it, and that consistency of identity in the middle of constant evolution is what most groups never quite master. When you look at Enemy through that lens, as a release that arrives at their 10-year milestone, it hits even harder. Not every track blew me away on first listen, but the moment I dug deeper into the lyrics, the emotional threads, the structure, everything suddenly felt purposeful. Almost like this album is a quiet mosaic of everything they've been and everything they're becoming. It shows their range, their maturity, and their willingness to keep challenging themselves, all while maintaining that unmistakable Twice glow that's followed them since debut. Here's the truth. Twice has gone through a million eras, aesthetics, and genres, but there's still only one Twice. Their longevity works because they're not trying to reinvent themselves into someone unrecognizable. They're simply evolving into the next version of who they've always been. 10 years in, and they're still shining, still growing, and still finding new colors to show us. Here's to 10 more. No Twice, no life. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed my takes and interpretation of this album. Hopefully the wait wasn't too bad. In case you missed it, to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers before December, I'm doing a content block I haven't done since high school, called Waydes Wonderland. Basically, I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all leading up to my end of year special on the 31st. So, if you want more K-pop content from me, now is the best time to stick around. But with that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below what song was your favorite, and are you excited for the influx of new videos coming your way? Remember that I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys on Friday with a life-changing video. Bye!